I have a pretty serious dilemma here. Salutations, welcome to Loving the Language of Literacy. My name is Sophia Lee, and today I'll be sharing with you my speculations of whether I should do fiction or poetry. To be honest, having a dilemma about writing is one of the best dilemmas you can have because there really is no right or wrong decision, and I'm just so excited no matter what I choose. So if you guys are new to Loving the Language of Literacy, you may not know this, but I am taking writing classes at my local YMCA. I've made up to 8 videos at this point about playwriting and poetry. The last class I took actually was on the 6th of June because of vacation and just scheduling issues in general. That was sorries, sappiness, and social issues, the very last poetry class where I was this huge ball of just writing advice, reminiscing about what I'd done and how much I love poetry in general because I'm Sophia. I actually almost completely filled up this lovely notebook I have here, which I started the first day of poetry class on the 18th of April, and it's just been such an amazing wild ride. There are a lot of angsty poems, there's some love poetry in here. I am only a few pages away from finishing it, and that means that I will need to start a new notebook. Will that notebook be fiction or poetry? That is the question I'm addressing today. I was actually not indecisive about this at all until yesterday, the 10th of July. That's what I do. I'm completely sound in my decision until 2 days before the writing class. So today I'm here to discuss poetry and fiction, what I like to write better as a genre, what genre I like reading more, my doubts, my indecision, my speculations about whether I should do poetry or fiction this next session. After playwriting, which I absolutely loved, I felt like I needed to take a step back and try a different genre. You know, what I chose because A, we had just started the poetry unit in school, B, I absolutely love poetry and have been writing it since 6th grade, and C, my boyfriend's in poetry. I just chose poetry because it seemed like the natural great option. It was just such an amazing experience. And what's funny actually is I wrote 4 or 5 just starter poems the day before class just to dip my feet in the water and to see if I still had that ability, or lack thereof, that I'd had previously. The thing is, my boyfriend Gavin, you've heard about him in so many videos, from my quarterly update to just writing videos in general. And what you may not know also is that I didn't meet him at writing class, but I went on dates with him afterwards. At the end of poetry of last session, he decided he was going to go over to fiction and get to see all YA Young Authors Academy had to offer, which I completely was supportive about, and I still am obviously supportive of, but I was just thinking that I would stay in poetry. The other night we were joking about just things in general, and he said that he really wanted me to write a dragon story just for him because he likes dragons and he wanted to read one. I don't really know. Last night I started outlining it. I completely didn't expect this. I actually was just thinking about it all day, and I started texting one of my friends, Esther. You're finally getting mentioned in a video. I started pitching her ideas, I started talking to her about it. She really is the one that just got the ball rolling into my inspiration and just getting me pumped up to write this dragon story that apparently I'm now gonna write. I spent like an hour and a half, 2 hours last night on Scrivener, opening up the different chapters and scenes, developing characters. I went on my favorite baby name website ever, Behind the Name. I started looking up Wikipedia articles about dragons and chimera and just all these other mystical creatures that I'd like to incorporate into the story. Basically, if you're a writer, you know at this point I'm screwed. I have the fiction bug again, and I just don't know what I'm going to do because I'm just so freaking excited about the story that I'm just beginning to develop. You may not know this, but I have wanted to be a professional author since the age of 4. I started writing poetry just on the side when I was in 6th grade, and only recently, this year actually, have I expanded into different genres like playwriting, screenwriting, poetry, blogging, and reviewing. No matter what, I'm writing pretty much every single day of my life, whatever genre it is. Back in November 2014, I participated and won NaNoWriMo. I got to 50K. I never actually did anything else with that story. I didn't finish it either, but I did get 50,000 words on it, which I'm quite proud of, especially what was going on in my personal life in that time. Now, I'm just at these crossroads. Both of them, no matter what I choose, are extremely good choices for me as a person, for me as a writer, and I would love to experience either of the classes. I will now be listing to you the different issues I have with both genres. First one is the people, and when I say that, I mean just who's in the class. And I know only like 3 or 4 people in high school fiction, and I'm kind of apprehensive about that. Of course, I was apprehensive about poetry, and look what happened there. In poetry, I pretty much know everyone who attends class on a weekly basis, and I enjoy being being with them so much, and it's so much fun, and I also consider them friends. You can just refer back to the sappy video I had. Another issue that I have is with class size. I personally enjoy a smaller class. Poetry, we would have maybe 7-8 people each time. Fiction, because it's such a popular genre in general, is just a larger class, and because you tend to write more words in fiction, I'm also kind of apprehensive about the time that we have to critique each other's work and really soak in everything. Then there's the matter of the teacher, and I absolutely love Georgia Popov. She came out with a new book recently. I'll link it right here. It's Salter. I haven't read it yet, but I will be picking up a copy really soon and probably reviewing it for you guys. And then there's Mr. D or Mrs. D. I don't know. They're not married, but their last name starts with the same initial. One of them will be teaching the high school fiction, and I just have never been in a class with them except for once with Mr. D, but I just don't know at this point. I don't know about teachers. I don't know if I'll like them. I'm pretty sure I'll love them because they wouldn't have gotten hired any other way. Another thing is the feelings that I have associated with each genre. With poetry, I'm a lot more familiar with it. I'm a lot comfortable with it as of the past few months, and generally it tends to be a lot deeper in terms of the mindset you have in the room. The actual environment is different. Fiction, I'm a lot more rusty with. I have no clue what it'll be like to just jump to the room with people who've been doing fiction for so long. Of course, these are all the thoughts that I had before poetry as well. A little backstory is that, so my second ever week of writing class in general, our teacher wasn't there, so we had to split up to either do fiction or poetry. I chose fiction that week. Because of that experience, I'm kind of scared of the fiction people for no actual reason besides the fact that everyone in that room is so incredibly talented. I know it's really weird to say considering how I feel about everyone in poetry, but I'm just scared of fiction because of how much people know about it, how much people have read it, how much people are exposed to it, and how more judgmental they could possibly be. This might be a totally irrational fear. It still is a present fear that I have, and that's basically the main reason why I don't want to go to fiction. But we're going to keep talking about the pros and cons here. Then there's the actual genre itself to consider. Poetry, while it does have so much meaning, it is short and sweet. It has a lot less of a commitment. If you write a poem, of course you can go endlessly on editing, but you're just done once you finish writing it. And then with fiction, it's such a long-term commitment. There's long fiction and short fiction, obviously. I'm more of a long fiction writer myself, but it's just so much commitment of character development and plot arc. And there's also different factors in both genres of writing that matter. For example, figurative language and underlying meaning and enjambment and structure is a huge part of poetry, whereas fiction, character development and character arcs are so strong, plot, pacing. I'm just extremely conflicted. By the time I edit and upload this video, I will have chosen. I don't actually know what will be the deciding factor. It might just be the class size in general. It might be how I'm feeling that day. It might be who's in the class. I honestly don't know what's going to happen, and I'm just so freaking excited no matter what I do. And no matter what I choose, I know I will have a ton of fun. I know I'm going to learn a lot, and you can be absolutely certain that there will be videos for it. Tell me in the comments below what you think I should choose, what you personally like better as a genre, and just how you would deal with the situation, because I've been just so apprehensive. I think this is like 15 minutes now of me rambling. I'll have to edit it down, of course, but just rambling. I'm Sophia, you know. That's why people think I'm better at fiction. Anyways, keep calm, read on, and I'll see you in a video soon. Goodbye! If you liked me just rambling on and on about writing, give this video a big thumbs up. And if you would like to see more videos about writing, about reading, about books in general, just hit the subscribe button. And if you would like to follow me on any of my social media, it's around my face at SSL Loves Books.